okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now, what's up?
Well, you got another package this morning. FedEx from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang in a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble. In case you don't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge, I'm glad you called. Did you... You did? Wait, slow down. The Aigris? Really? You think that's them? The wheel within a wheel? A goon badagri, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Gambala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom, okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo. Well, why would the Veve show up there? Okay. Okay. Look, I'll come over as soon as I can. Okay. Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay. Thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe. And I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Nothing. I'll be careful, I promise.
Times-Picayune, dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful.
The letter is addressed to Gabriel from Wolfgang Ritter. Wolfgang's letter says,
Dear Gabriel, please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you, Uncle Wolfgang.
Gunter Ritter's diary is leather-bound. Its parchment pages are old and fragile. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunter Ritter's journey to Charleston as witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunter's meeting with a beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunter's tormenting urges for her.
Oh, bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunter's investigations into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seemed. The second to the last entry described Gunter's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He found the name of one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunter has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate the sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunter has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the before they can do him harm.
Olsey, son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal. Gabriel watches the man watching the shop.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Could you research rhododrums for me?
Rhododrums? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a rhododrum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
I'll be back later.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Hot Ridge, what's the good word? Hot Ridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again.
Something about Hartridge's death mask reminds Gabriel of the way Crash checked out. Not a pretty ending. Dr. Hartridge's desk is remarkably neat, especially considering the rest of the room. On the desk is a sheet of paper with some scribbled notes. It looks recent.
These notes look interesting.
Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper. Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh. You bastard!
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did? I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see, and we were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
Well, you're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
There's something in the ashtray.
Looks like the python left me a souvenir. Very interesting.
Gabriel magnifies the snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python. It's hued with purples and greens. It matches the scale from Lake Pontchartrain. He places the two scales together.
I'm going out.
See ya.
The second message made from the voodoo crosses is on the wall.
Let me get these new marks down.
Gabriel checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3. Gabriel should at least wait until the watchman is gone before defacing the tomb.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Pleased with his message, Gabriel tosses the brick down. Now, if only DJ reads it in time. It appears that Madame Lorelei has returned.
You're back. You know, you really freaked me out running off like that. You? Anybody home?
Stay away from Maria Getty, or you shall pay with your life.
What the hell is going on? Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back. Has that beignet guy been by yet today? I'm starved.
I haven't seen him in a while. I don't think he's coming by here anymore.
Damn. You can't count on anything these days.
Hey, Mostly.
It's you, God help me. Knight, I hate to tell you this, but you're out of a book. The voodoo murders case has been closed.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, son of a bitch. Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
The case? What case? I told you. The voodoo murders case is closed.
How can you just close it? It's not solved, is it?
Oh, it's solved. Turns out the Chicago Mafia was trying to invade local territory, using Mississippi for drug running now that Florida's so hot. What we had here was a little resistance from local businessmen. Word came in this morning that the Chicago group is giving up and pulling out of New Orleans.
But that doesn't bring the killers to justice.
Well, the boys upstairs seem to figure it this way. Let the slime kill each other. Better the vermin we know than the Chicago vermin, I guess. The attitude in the department is that we've just been done a huge favor. Well, they're probably right.
What about the local cartel? Are you just gonna let them go?
At least they're part of us. We'll deal with them over time, always have. New Orleans is pretty clean that way, you know.
Well, that's the illusion, isn't it?
Look, I'm not totally in agreement here either, but what can I do? These guys are not about to get caught. I'm disappointed about the book, too. Look, next big murder case I get, I'll call you in and we'll do that one up right, okay? In fact, I could probably dig up some old cases and you could spice them up.
No, thanks. Crash is dead.
What? What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? Guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, eh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said.
Crash said? Did he mention pink elephants, too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No. Actually, I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy, standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report. But it won't happen. I know these guys. Lock them up overnight and they tend to overdo it the next day.
Your professionalism is astonishing. There's been another murder. A professor at Tulane.
Oh, Christ, you're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African studies at Tulane. Yesterday, I went to see him about the voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's onto something big. And when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered. And by the same people who did the voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the voodoo murders, M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, right? If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the voodoo murders case, don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. If I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut. Not involve other people with this shit. You think it's so dangerous.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
Look, the department's not interested.
So, couldn't you make them interested?
With what? I've got 7 bodies and still no leads. The voodoo angle's worthless. And besides, these people aren't hurting anybody but out-of-town drug dealers and hitmen.
The voodoo stuff is not worthless. It's the key to the whole thing. And these people are dangerous. They need to be stopped.
Okay. You want me to reopen this case? Prove what you just said.
What do you mean?
You need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? Well, that's pretty good work, Knight. But that doesn't prove that this pattern is really connected to voodoo.
Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? And what about them?
They confirm that the pattern from the murders is of African origin.
Really? It's incredible, isn't it? Something like that showing up here?
It's been here for quite some time, so it seems.
I'm impressed. Okay, you've convinced me. The murders were done by a legitimate voodoo cult.
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810?
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? That they are a threat?
Okay, they're a threat.
have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales, and the coloring is the same. The python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. Certainly suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, eh? If we can tie them into this voodoo cult, we just might have something. Okay, now reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here tonight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. In fact, I better lock up this office just in case I step on a few toes. Come on. Now, lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Dang!
What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel?
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in back. It's okay.
Okay? Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No. I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
They know where you live now.
It's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No. I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Ugh. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on rata drums.
Really? Great.
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back.
Special delivery, it seems.
It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
Gabriel eyes the surreptitiously delivered envelope. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. The envelope is unmarked. Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley and a small brass key. Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
The note is signed, Detective Mosley.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
Use your paints to copy this snake tattoo onto my chest.
Now, why on earth would you want me to do that?
I'm going to a party tonight. Costume, you know.
You don't say. I guess you're going with Maya.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And why should I help you out? We don't even like Maya.
Well, if you're jealous about my feelings for her...
You know that's not it. I just think, as your friend, that she's trouble.
It's perfectly understandable. I know you have certain feelings for me. Quite naturally.
Me? I would rather be hung by my hair over a bed of scorpions.
I know it must be hard having it in your face like this. No chance to avoid hearing about it, seeing it day by day.
Fine. I'll do it. Just shut up. Can we at least go in the back?
Sure, but could you say that one more time and pout your lips more?
Ugh.
What did I say?
All right. Let's go. The shirt, please.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment.
Now. Hold still.
Maybe you'd like to tie me up?
One more remark, and I'm leaving.
Okay, okay.
Done. It's just stunning.
Sorry I couldn't make it last longer.
Well, it was about what I expected from you.
Times-Picayune, dated the 23rd of June, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. Jean's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. Jean's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. Jean, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. Jean's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where? Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be just fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie. Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
We don't have a, Detective Mosley here.
What? I've seen him all week.
Listen to what I'm saying. We don't have a Detective Mosley on the force. You got no business back there now. Move along.
Sorry.
A vendor selling vignettes, and Cafe au lait has taken the lucky dog vendor's old spot.
Hello.
What can I do for you, sir?
Say, haven't I seen you before?
I get around the French Quarter. Used to be at Royal and Conti.
You say you used to be at Royale and Conti?
That's right.
Why don't you go back there?
Do you think? I've been kind of torn. Must be the weather. These thick clouds we've had all week. I'm just not seeing the crowds here that I expected.
I definitely think you should go back to Royal and Conti.
Really? I'm glad you think so. I always liked that beat, but I thought I ought to give this a shot.
Oh, absolutely. The grass is always greener.
Exactly. You're right. I'm going back over there today.
Beignet guy. He's back.
Where?
Grab me 3 or 4, would you?
Forget it, I'm broke.
Rats. You stay put. I'll be back in a minute.
The door is locked. Mosley's desk has more groin on it than on his head. There's a tracking device in the drawer.
This tracker might come in handy.
Hey, get out of there, you.
Sorry, just looking for a restroom. Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
About Detective Mosley.
I told you, there's no Mosley here. Now get lost!
It's one of the Rada drummers. They transmit coded messages through the French Quarter for the voodoo cartel. Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his Rada book to translate. If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct, there'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Professor Hartridge said that in voodoo, a small ritual coffin is called a seke module. It's a signal device for the tracker. Gabriel slips the signal device into the Seke module.
Can I assist you, Mr. Knight?
No, just looking.
I hate to rush you, Mr. Knight, but I am afraid I must close the museum early this evening. This is St. John's Eve, and it's getting on towards dusk. I have things I must do.
I see. No problem. I'll just...
Leave. Goodbye, Mr. Knight. May the spirits guard you well tonight.
Bayou Saint-Jean seems denser, thicker, darker than Gabriel remembers. In the twilight of heavy growth, everything looks the same. Gabriel pulls out the tracking device, hoping that the shaky module made it to the ritual and that this thing will work.
All right. There's a blip. They must be here with the Seke module.
Infernal machine. This better be work. Gabriel hopes this tracking thing is working correctly. The entrance to our clearing is marked with voodoo skulls. At last!
When in Rome. Here goes nothing.
Welcome, Brother Crocodile. Please join the other celebrants.
Yes, Dr. John. Brother Eagle.
But first, name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
Dumbala.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Who is the destroyer of men.
Ogun Badagri.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Enjoy yourself well tonight.
Gabriel!
Malia.
I can smell his blood.
No.
You cannot change your